What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the Megidolaon podcast. I'm your host, Darley, and I am here with Simply Dad, Maka, and Robbie.
Are you actually gonna record a podcast with that dog shit ass mic? Or headset? I don't know what it is, bro.
It's a headset.
That's nasty. No, if you got it flying, fuck, I rock with it, bro. Like, hi, how are you?
Okay.
It's been a year plus.
Yeah.
A lot has happened.
Gabby's not here.
Yeah, Gab's not here.
Said she was gonna join, but then she's been playing Elden Ring for 7 hours straight.
Yeah, and that's more important.
Yeah.
But so yeah, I am now back from Korea, and I figured it'd be good to bring back the podcast, and I'm gonna keep it. It's gonna be a monthly thing, just like it was before. But yeah. So I hope you guys, for those of you that are new, welcome, and for those of you that are returning, also welcome. But
Good to be back.
You didn't mention that in a tweet that you put out. You didn't mention for those of you who don't know, the Megidolaon podcast got so and so, this and this and there.
Okay, whatever. But okay, so I want to get into our first topic today. So the most recently announced new Megaton game, Soul Hackers 2. What's your guys' opinions on it?
Man, I'm hyped. I'm hyped. I honestly never in a million years would have thought that this would have been a thing. I remember when they first announced something something Soul Hackers news. I figured it was gonna be like a port, maybe on Switch or whatever. But the fact that it's like a brand new sequel, I'm like, damn, that's crazy. That is wild. I'm all in.
Before I go, I want to hear what Dad's got to say.
Oh, okay. So somebody asked me on my stream, and I honestly didn't give a fuck. I saw it in LaRue server. They was all talking about it. I saw the timeline countdown and everything. And I was just like, cool. Soul Hackers 2, and then I saw the trailer. I was like, this shit nasty. This shit
very
nasty.
Anime.
It's not even the anime part. It just feels like, you know what I mean? When people always give mainstream media shit for oh, why can't you make your own original thing? Why do you have to reboot so and so? Because I know people were saying that about the recent Bel Air, Fresh Prince shit, and just any kind of reboot. Everybody always goes mad about it, and I'm like, why is that energy missing here? Mm-hmm. This game could be cool as fuck. All I see it as is Atlas is so unconfident in creating a new IP or even creating a third Devil Summoner. You know what I mean? They have to call it Soul Hackers 2. It can't be Devil Summoner 3. It can't be a new spinoff or its own series. It has to be Soul Hackers 2. It has to be, I'm assuming, in Amami City. It has to do with the Phantom Society, which was kind of destroyed in Soul Hackers. It has to use soul hacking. I saw a screenshot where the main character's oh, I'll soul hack him and see what I can you know what I mean?
The term.
Yeah, it's just using the terms. It's just weird. I saw some about the Kuzunoha and the Yatagarasu. It's just hey kids, you remember these things from the other? It's just weird. I don't give a fuck. It could be good. I just don't care, frankly. It looks corny to me, and I don't really care. I'm not mad about it. I just whatever.
Yeah, I actually, with Gab and two of my other friends, Elcrest and Lewis from the Game Shelf, we had a stream where we just talked about it for about an hour and gave our thoughts and opinions. And personally, I totally see where you're coming from, Dad. I'm excited. There are some things about it that I'm pretty hesitant about. I think from what we've seen about the gameplay, it seems like demons are going to act like personas, where they're more like equipment.
Yeah.
I didn't even mention that. I don't mean to interrupt you like that, but
yeah.
Why the fuck? I don't care that it's a 3D dungeon crawler. Why the fuck is the combat system like Shin Megami Tensei or Persona? My favorite thing about the original Devil Summoner, in my opinion, Devil Summoner, specifically Soul Hackers, is peak 2D dungeon crawler SMT. You know what I mean? That is to me the identifying about the original Devil Summoner series, not Raito, but like just the dungeon crawling gameplay with 6 demons, a protagonist, a female protagonist. That shit is cool. Now we just have party member, like human party members and shit like that. It's weird to me, bro. That's just weird to me.
I think no matter what the circumstances would have been, I don't think, like, given how long it's been since like the original Soul Hackers came out and stuff, like I don't think like you're absolutely right, Dad. Like I do feel like Atlas doesn't have a lot of confidence in their old formula because of just how
they don't have any confidence in their new fucking formula either. Look at every single game the new team has created. They made Apocalypse, sequel to 4. They made Strange Journey Redux, a remake of Strange Journey. After that, it was what, SMT5. It literally just Nocturne 2, and now this game.
Yeah.
There's no confidence because they're not making anything, bro. Like SMT5 is like the closest thing they've had to original project, and that game fucking sucked.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, Matt. Keep going, bro.
No, yeah. What I was gonna say is like I'm not a fan of, at least from what we can tell from the gameplay. It seems like it's quite literally just like P5, but with some like slight differences. Not a fan of that. But like I'm still optimistic. I'm still like, oh, this like there are things about it I like, and overall I'm gonna go into it with, you know, feeling good. There are definitely things that I'm confused by and don't get. Like this specifically with the whole Soul Hack, like calling it Soul Hackers 2. What bugs me specifically about it isn't just the fact that it's Soul Hackers, that it's like Soul Hackers. It's the fact that like Soul Hackers was the subtitle to the second game in the series, and now they're acting as if the second game in the series was like a completely separate like entry entirely. It's its own series.
It'd be like if Atlas made a game and they called it Shin Megami Tensei Apocalypse 2.
Oh, the way I see it,
Shin Megami Tensei 4 Apocalypse 2.
Yeah, the way I see it, they essentially what they did was that they pulled a Rambo, where it's like First Blood, and then First Blood Rambo Part 2, and then Rambo 3. So they essentially took the Devil Summoner name and just completely warped it into just it being Soul Hackers.
Yeah, it's weird. It's weird. I'm optimistic, but I absolutely see where people come from. I think there are some people who are being way too hard. Like some people are blatantly just trying to nitpick shit.
Well, yeah, there seem to be a lot of people like they're either like really excited for it or they just absolutely hate it.
Yeah,
here's the thing. I feel like it's gonna be a good game regardless, because I didn't even like SMT5, and that game is still like a 7 out of 10. 7 out of 10 is still pretty fucking good by game standards. You know what I'm saying? Like, it'll be good, but at the same time, you can't like deny people being upset because it's not like Soul Hackers. It doesn't have the same feel. It doesn't have the same like art style. It doesn't have the same tone from the looks of it. People think that the games need to be dark. This is like darker than Soul Hackers, because all I saw from the trailers was like people was getting shot up and demons here and people this and that and soul hack and that and all, you know what I mean? Like this is a very dark SMT game. It just looks fucking corny, bro. It doesn't have the same feel or mood, and just because the game looks good and it's probably going to play well does not mean, you know, people's problems are invalid. You could not like the art style or the tone or the way the game is like presenting itself, or even like some of the mechanic changes in the gameplay. Like, I don't know, I feel like people think just because it looks like it'll play good that it'll be a good game. Like those two things are not, I don't know.
I definitely agree, because even though like I'm really hyped about the game, like I was able to tell from like a mile away that like with the name Soul Hackers 2 that there was going to be like a huge divide, and pretty much like as soon as the trailer dropped, like within an hour in my server, like everyone just like kept going off and on about like how, oh man, this game is like pretty much like bringing in the dark age of Atlas now, because it's like, you know, we're bringing in like old IPs and they're completely transforming it into something completely unrecognizable.
At least it's not a dancing game.
But so this is so I mean, any way you look at it, especially given the fact that they named it Soul Hackers 2, it's like, yeah, this was gonna be a disaster with a lot of like old school fans, especially.
Mhm.
Yeah.
All I can tell is that it's not for me. Like, it's not made for me. It's called Soul Hackers
Yeah.
2, and given that Soul Hackers is literally, like, in my opinion, like the second, like, top 2 Mega 10 games of all time, it is not made for me as a big fan of the original game. It is very much a game made for the Persona crowds with like an SMT name slapped on it, kind of like SMT5.
Well, I mean,
I feel like that's
SMT's not even slapped on it. It's just Soul Hackers 2.
Oh, you know what I mean. Everyone sees
Mhm.
Double Summoner, they associate it with SMT. You see Double Survivor, you associate it with SMT. Persona is Persona. All them other spin-offs are Shin Megami Tensei spin-offs, and nobody plays them.
Yeah, they
It's
stopped with
edgy.
the whole. Yeah, they stopped with the whole Shin Megami Tensei moniker since like Devil Survivor, and they're probably not. They're probably not going to go back to that anytime soon because of the fact
I
that
wish,
Persona's like
bro.
way.
I wish, man. Like, if they made another... I feel like making another Devil Survivor would have been the play, and not Soul Hackers 2, because Devil Survivor 2 is a great-ass game, and I feel like that balanced the Shin Megami Tensei and the Persona shit together, like, perfectly. That's the perfect balance. Top 3 Mega 10, by the way. Record breaker.
Absolutely agree with that.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Well, I pretty much agree with Maka, but one thing that kind of like I guess one thing that kind of like mildly annoys me, it's I guess sort of the like it's not really the art, it's more like the world building. Because, like, with the original Soul Hackers, like, I talked about this in my video, but in the original Soul Hackers, it was, like, it was, like, a retro-futuristic style, kind of like you'd see in Alien. And I pointed that out in my video, and a lot of people commented. It's like, oh, well, I mean, Soul Hackers came out in the 90s, so that was their vision of the future. And this game's coming out in 2022, so this is their vision of the future. Which I get, but, like, if you're gonna make a sequel to something, I think, like, it's important for consistency reasons that you stay true to
absolutely,
like,
bro. I
world.
agree 100%. That was my biggest problem, was the modernization, not
Like-
necessarily an art style, because like obviously you can't. People think that when somebody says they made it like it looks different, like it's not the same, they think, oh, you just want Kazuma Kaneko to come back. No, man, like there is a very distinct vision of the world that they had. Soul Hackers, Devil Summoner in general, is very much a product of his time, and I feel like a lot of games tend to stick to that kind of vision. You know what I mean? If somebody made a Jet Set Radio remake or a sequel in 2022 and they took out all that personality and just modernized the shit out of it, like everything's all minimalist and glitchy techie, like I would say that Soul Hackers 2 is like the Valorant of fucking graphic design in comparison to the original. You know what I mean? Like where everything's all like, I don't want to say clean, but it's all like, it's weird. It's not the same. I feel like that difference is very, very important, and that's what made it to me not seem like Soul Hackers, and that just really turned me away from the start. It's a game from the 90s, embracing the fact that it's a very cyberpunkish game from the 90s. I wouldn't even call it cyberpunk. It's more just like a futuristic, like it's just what they thought.
Fantasy. It's futuristic fantasy more than anything.
Pretty much, yeah. Like it is very much solidified in the fact that it is a 90s game, and that's one of my favorite aspects about it. I liked all the trippy backgrounds, all the environments. You know, Mommy City was a great place to explore, shit like that. All the different places that it took you, like. This game just does not look like that. The characters don't look like they're from Soul Hackers. Oh, that's okay. I need to ask y'all, what do you think of the redesigned characters that are like Victor and shit? What do you think about that? Like,
I think they're cool. I like it.
I think it's fine.
Yeah, I think it's fine.
For me personally, I hope if they're gonna like yassify the fuck out of Victor, I want to see everybody from like the Double Summoner games. You know what I mean? I don't want to see just Victor, because then it just comes across as like, hey guys, this is that character from the original Soul Hackers and the other double. You know this guy. I want to see like the fucking Thai food guy. I want to see the old lady that sells you like bombs and shit, and the fat dude who is like,
all of them, man. I love all of them.
I'll treat you to some tea if you come on back. You know what I mean? I want to see all them characters. They better not just be fucking Victor.
So I think
I hope the old lady's still there, but she's just like even older.
She's like on her SpongeBob. She's like the bitch of the what?
What are they selling?
Okay.
What are they selling?
Yeah, no, I want her like that.
I think the reason why I don't really like the reason why I'm not really upset about like the whole like Soul Hackers 2 and it being used is because like we already have Soul Hackers. Like if I want to go back for that Soul Hackers experience, I'll just go back playing Soul Hackers or like the original Devil Summoner.
Oh yeah, for sure.
With this one right here, it's like I would still be hype even if they didn't use the Soul Hackers moniker because it just looks cool. Like I dig the characters, I dig the main character, I dig the combat, the setting and all that stuff. So even if they didn't use the Soul Hackers name, I still would be hyped. So for me, in my head, I just kind of like detach it from the original Soul Hackers with the fact that they have elements of the original Soul Hackers in it. That's just kind of like how I piece it in my head. It's kind of the same thing, at least to a lesser extent, between the Persona 1 and 2 and like Persona 3 onward. Because like obviously, you know, you have like the split fans between, you know, pre-Persona 3, you know, 1 and 2 versus 3 and onward. But for me, I enjoy them like kind of equally in a sense for like different reasons, obviously. So it's kind of like that for me. So I don't know. I kind of want to like wait for the game to be, you know, so for me to actually play it, so that way I can have like a good grasp on kind of like what Soul Hackers 2 is going to be like. So
Yeah.
But yeah, at least as far as I know, I feel like that's kind of what my vision or kind of what my idea is, and that's kind of the reason why like I'm still hyped for Soul Hackers 2 despite all the differences and changes.
Yeah, and I also think it's cool that this game has a female protagonist, and it's also one that's not in high school.
Yeah, and she can talk.
Yeah, she can.
Yeah, that is my favorite thing about.
I just hope they don't pull a Fallout 4 with the dialogue system.
What do you mean?
Oh yeah. You mean like how in Fallout 4? You mean like in Fallout 4? There's like, oh, you don't pick actual sentences, but rather you pick feelings, like how you say it.
Yeah. No. Yes.
And it doesn't actually have any effect. Yeah. Oh yeah. Fallout 4 was real bad about that. You essentially, instead of having like actually different dialogue options, they were all essentially different flavors of the same response.
So it's like,
and then one of them would be like no, and that's it.
So I'm guessing it's kind of like, what do you mean versus what do you mean? Kind of like that.
Kind of like that, or more like, yeah, I would like to hear what you have to say. It's like, no, of course I want you to shut up, you know, and being like real sarcastic about it. It's real bad.
Ew, that's nasty. I'm glad I don't play those fucking games, bro.
Oh god, Fallout 4 was a step forward in like one or two ways, and then 3 steps back in everything else.
Yeah, just play New Vegas.
Yeah, just play. Yeah.
Thanks, Todd Howard.
Okay. All right. So that's about it for Soul Hackers 2. But tonight, at least at the time we're recording this, Persona 4 Arena Ultimax coming out for PS4, Switch, and PC. Do you guys have any opinions on it? I mean, Maka, I know you. I got an early copy. Maka, I know you also got an early copy. And
we played together.
But yeah. What about Dad and Robbie? Are you guys excited for it? Are you going to be getting it?
I am. I'm probably gonna wait a little bit before I get it. Probably during like its first price drop, because I have like a bunch of other games that I want to get to playing first. But man, I'm excited that I can finally play Persona 4 Ultimax and like an actual modern system that isn't like my PS3 that is buried in my closet somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Speaking of buried in the closet, like, it really pisses me off how Gnarly got a Gnarly got a review code and everybody. No one ever hits me. I don't think I'm eligible on that website that you're supposed to. I don't even remember what the fuck it's called. You're too
mean to Atlas. They're like,
no, it's not that. It's like I well meet every single requirement, like watch time and views and subscribers. It's the fucking, why do you have to upload like 3 videos a month? And I keep meaning to email the person that works at Sega. I just keep forgetting to, because like I would be so down to buy. I love fighting games. Y'all don't know that, but I love fighting games. But also, I'm sorry for saying you're in the closet. You know, that was kind of out of pocket. I wanted to say about LaRue, but that's because LaRue was like, "Oh, guys, we're gonna play all the time," but then he's not here, so I don't make fun of him. He's not here. But you know what I mean? Like, I wanted to get it so bad because, like, oh man, I love fighting games. All my friends are getting the fighting game, but I keep forgetting to ask for it. I'm not about to spend my own money on Persona 4 Arena. You know what I mean? Like, So like, I've never played it. I'm not really a big fan of Arc Sys fighters that seem kind of lame. I like Guilty Gear X2. I like that one a lot. but all the
Oh.
other ones are just not my thing. Like Blaze Blue, I tried that for a little bit. I didn't like. I mean, Guilty Gear Xrd was fine. Strive is whatever. I think Strive is really boring, but like, I don't know. What's the other one called? Tag Battle, Cross Team Tag Battle.
Yeah,
Cross tag.
Cross
Oh
tag.
my god, that game is fucking lame. I don't know. They're all just lame to me, bro. I feel like you just really need to be into it to like it. But I don't know. I'm probably not gonna buy it.
I see where you're coming from because I myself am more of a Capcom SNK kind of guy. Like when it comes to like a lot of the ArcSys exclusive mechanics, like a lot of it just kind of like blows over my head. I'm just now starting to get into like stuff like Strive, and I guess Persona 4 Arena was like one of the if not the only exception for the longest time because I'm a big Persona guy. But yeah, I do get where you're coming from when it comes to like ArcSys and stuff. But Persona 4 Arena itself, and Ultimax were a lot of fun. So I'll definitely pick that up whenever.
Who are y'all maining? Be honest.
Elizabeth.
Margaret.
I was Akihiko and Mitsuru back on the PS3.
I don't even know what characters are in the game. We're gonna look it up right now.
Ultimax has pretty much everyone from the P3 and P4 cast. Sans, of course, like
Except for
anyone that-
Megidolaon
Sans in the
Shinjiro.
game?
Yeah, Sans. Sans
Sans
is
is
in the
also-
game, bro.
Oh no, okay,
Yeah.
stop. Fucking be nice. I wasn't listening and then I heard him say Sans. I'm like, what the fuck? And then I
Why
realized,
he
oh wait, the
dancing?
game didn't come out around Undertale time, but like
No, maybe not.
Yo,
I'll
have
probably-
you seen? If you see Teddy's,
Oh,
if you see
okay.
Teddy's white and blue skin, he looks just like Sans.
wow, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Who's the red hair kid? That's the evil
Show.
Yeah.
Yeah,
sure.
yeah, with the scars and shit. Okay.
Mm.
So what's
Yeah,
the difference?
he's,
Okay, explain to me the difference between the normal characters and the shadow characters.
Yeah,
The
but
shadow
Uh,
characters have a bit less HP. They
Yeah.
can do a shadow rush, which increases their attack but drains their SP.
Think
And-
of like Ryu and Evil Ryu or something like that.
Yeah,
One
there
for
are a few
Lynx,
other
oh no.
differences depending on the characters. I mean, obviously
Hmm.
their voices and some of their animations are different.
Gameplay wise, since you haven't played the game, gameplay wise, I think the easiest thing to compare it to is probably JoJo Heritage of the Future. I don't know if you've played that one, but
What the fuck is that? Like, I think the easiest thing to compare it to is that it's just like pulls a fucking non-existent fighting game out of
Wait,
the
you've never-
fucking nether realm. Like, what
Wait,
the
have you-
fuck?
Wait, have you never played Heritage of the Future? I thought you did.
I don't even know. I don't even like JoJo, bro. I swear to God.
I mean, it's a Capcom game that came out,
Oh,
like, in
okay.
the
I think I know
90s.
what you mean. But okay, I think if I were to play a character, it'd probably be Akihiko because I like he seems like a rushdown character and I like
Yeah.
that.
he is.
The reason why I picked him up back in the day was because he played like Dudley from Third Strike. At
Oh
least to
fuck
me,
yeah, I'm
probably.
playing Akihiko then. Fuck all y'all. Anime fighters are so easy to hit combos on too. I fuck all y'all. Y'all are fucking dead. Meet me in Ultimax. I'm buying the game right now.
Yeah.
I mean, I
Can
don't know
you
if
play
you
as
can right
Oh.
now.
Okay, listen, buddy. Sorry I'm not cool enough. I don't get no review copies like you.
Also, if I recall, this version of Ultimax is gonna have all the DLC that came out previously, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
Okay.
all of it.
It's the definitive version of Ultimax, essentially.
Thank God.
Yeah,
But,
no. Good game.
Yeah, I mean, it'll probably be out by the time this video goes up, but I mean, I'm going to be putting up my review, so if you want to hear my thoughts on it in more detail, you can just watch that.
Mm-hmm.
Mine should be going up in 8 minutes. I have it scheduled.
Nice.
I quite literally just dated this recording super hard.
Wow.
But yeah, what I'm hoping for like Arena Ultimax is that it kind of brings this game back into the competitive scene.
Oh yeah. I can see that because like I remember watching some competitive footage and I'm like, damn, this game kind of looks kind of whack. I don't remember who was playing who. I think someone was playing Chie or something, but like it just looked kind of weird. But I felt like it's one of them things where you have to like play it to really.
Did
enjoy
this?
it.
I forget. Did this game ever get to Evo?
Let me see. Probably not on the main
Probably
stage, but I
not
know
E-
it. No,
probably
for damn
Anime
sure it had a
Evo.
side event.
Hmm. Yeah, the only channels I mainly saw.
Oh,
covered
it
this
did.
game
It was
were-
main stage in 2015, apparently.
Ooh.
Yeah.
The only, surprisingly, the only channels I remember covering Persona 4 and also Ultimax back in the day were non-Persona channels like Maximilian and Super Best Friends. So Rest
I
in
mean,
peace.
that's how you get exposure. You know what I mean? Like, only obviously, like the Persona fans are not going to be playing Persona 4 Arena Ultimax. Like the
For
people
the
who are going to really
gameplay.
put some time into it are going to be the FGC people.
Absolutely.
It was
There-
Ken
there's a
versus
special-
Margaret grand finals.
Damn, I still remember back in the day how weird it was. The fact that Persona 4 Arena was a thing. Everyone's like, "What the hell?" Making a fighting game off as this weird anime RPG. That's wild.
They have this like special corner in the game for the Persona fans who are like, I just want more of the characters, and that's called story mode, which is 20-minute visual novels with a minute-long match
Yeah, story
every
Yeah.
once in a while before 20 minutes more of cutscenes.
Oh, is there like an
Uh,
actual story?
There is, yeah.
Yeah,
I thought that was like
I-
a joke.
It's
like,
canon too.
Yeah, the story for original Arena I thought was dog water, but the story for Ultimax I enjoyed it.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I didn't. Okay, it's not so much that I didn't enjoy the story for the original Arena. It's basically just you're playing through the same story with like all the different characters, and it's just a slog.
Mm.
But Ultimax doesn't do that. It's you have the P3 episode and the P4 episode and the Adachi episode, so it's better.
That was so much better. The way Ultimax handled it.
Wow.
I never played the arena story in Ultimax. Was it literally just the same story from Arena but just put into Ultimax, or did they?
No,
actually
it was
include
a
one
new
versus
story. Like like you could get this story for the original Arena as DLC, and that's included in this version.
four? Okay. That's good.
But yeah, you guys have any more thoughts on the Ultimax?
I'm watching the Evo grand finals right now. This guy's getting fucked up. This Margaret player's getting fucked up by Ken.
Yeah,
Is he
Margaret
busted?
and Ken are probably my two favorite characters.
I
You kind of
remember-
look like Ken, like the Ultimax Ken. Like you got the same stupid like little wannabe anime boy hair with the little
Well,
thing.
What if I
over
told
it.
you I'm going to be cosplaying him?
Nice.
Dang, bro,
That makes
you
sense.
just are him.
He's just like Vin for real. I swear. Like.
At least it's more original than just doing Joker and just being like, I look like Joker and I'm gonna cosplay him.
Like one cosplay I was thinking about doing was like, it's like P5 Joker, but with the like movie Joker makeup.
Hey,
Like P5 Joker's clothes, but the face paint.
I'm the Joker, baby.
yeah, I'm the Joker, baby.
Okay, but we're getting a little sidetracked. So that's about
Yeah,
it
yeah.
for like SMT and Atlas related stuff. But
Nah,
term-
actually, bro, we've been going for forever. Like, let's get some extended thoughts on SMT5. What did everybody think? What did everybody think of SMT5? For those of y'all that
you
didn't watch each other's respective videos, because I mean, there's probably some gnarly viewers that don't watch Maka. There's some gnarly viewers that definitely don't watch me. Like,
I
and I don't
saw
think
your guys'
Robbie
videos.
ever. I don't think you ever. Did you talk about it on your podcast, Robbie?
Yeah, I did.
Okay. What you guys think of SMT5? Biggest fucking game release of last year. We didn't even cover it once. What the fuck?
Yeah,
All right, so I had fun with it. I will not be the guy to be like, oh man, the story was super deep, guys. You guys don't understand. No, the story was absolutely the weakest part of SMT5, and I have a feeling that the reason why was because they wanted to copy a lot of kind of like what Nocturne made with how they did with the story. But like, I mean, like Nocturne's story and its minimalist approach was on purpose. They didn't just leave out information like SMT5 did, and that was definitely something that hurt the overall experience for SMT5. Other than that, I loved the gameplay. I loved the exploration in the game. I think that was a lot of fun. I loved kind of like searching every nook and cranny, but that's because I love playing like marathon. Like I love playing collectathon platformers where I just like kind of like want to find everything. So I really dug the gameplay for it, and I think difficulty. I can see why people said it was hard, but honestly, if you've played through a lot of the older SMT games and stuff, it's not really that bad. And honestly, like the press turn mechanics in 5 were like really forgiving. Like I remember like trying to pass turns, and I'm just like, whoa, I could be able to like clearly pass all my turns, and I don't have to worry about losing anything or like wasting anything. So that was really wild. Yeah, no, overall I had a fun time, but it felt like I wish I had more to doing that. And there was like almost like not even almost, there was like no post game in this game at all, other than like a few demons to get, which isn't really like worth doing a playthrough again, in my opinion, especially like with the endings, because I just like looked up the other endings that I didn't get, and I'm like, really? Come on, man.
Well, I really like it. I love it. I absolutely see all of the flaws with it, and I absolutely agree. But it's very much, it's greater than the sum of its parts. For me, where there are certain things about it that, the story sucks ass, not great. Characters, borderline non-existent. Atsuta actually pisses me off at times with how much of a waste he is. But they're very much just like, there are things it does. There's certain story ideas I like. And then when it comes to the gameplay, I really do like the exploration aspect of it. A number of other things it does like have failings in, but that exploration was able to like kind of pick up the slack for me, because even if it's not like the best designed in terms of like, it's no Breath of the Wild, it's no Elden Ring, but it is just like, I had fun running around. I feel like that's just kind of what it is, which is like, it's not perfect. I liked it. Fun.
See, Gnarly, what did you think? That's what I want to get out of you, because I watched your video. That was like that was a 30-minute long fucking video, and that was the most milk toast. I felt like my brain melted the entire time. Like, what is this kid saying? And then you end it like, I think it's pretty good. 8.5 out of, like, what the fuck? What did you actually think? Tell me right now.
I mean, I thought the story was dog water, but the gameplay was really good. Graphically, it was pretty good, despite some performance issues.
Oh, he said some performance issues. What the fuck? Dang. Some.
Okay, I'm not like one of those people that will give a game like a 1 out of 10 if the frame rate dips every now and then.
I will say this, at least the frame rate, I think it was probably because I played No More Heroes 3, like, I think a little bit before this game came out.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my god. The trailer, I think it was a competition between No More Heroes 3 and SMT5 to see how many frame drops you could have in an official trailer of a video game. Oh my god, that looks so bad. I felt so bad for you guys.
Yeah.
The overworld for No More Heroes 3 was way more rough compared to SMT5.
Yeah,
so I feel like SMT5 was a better share compared to that one.
I'll say SMT5's frame drops felt like earned.
Yeah.
No More Heroes 3, No More Heroes 3 was like, oh no, this is just, yeah, I don't even know what to say. It's just like, this is just jank. I love it, but it's jank.
Yeah, I mean, I guess if it's an action game, then I'll be a little more harsh on it. But it's a turn-based RPG. But I really liked the music. I thought the exploration was pretty good. I like the new demons. The combat is, like I said, it's always really fun, and I just had a good time with it. I liked how balanced the gameplay is. Like, it addressed most of the regarding the battle system. It addressed most of the complaints I had with like SMT4 and Apocalypse, and like
what were those complaints, Gnarly? What complaints were alleviated?
Well, okay, for one thing, I don't like smirking.
Shut up.
I like
what
smirking.
else? What else? What else?
Well, I mean, I like that they fixed the stats. You now have the 5 stats from Nocturne. I wasn't really a big fan of how SMT4 did it with like strength and dexterity. There was no vitality. And then there was also like how with your stat build, it was like, or at least what the stat builds on the demons. And this more applies to original SMT4, where for pretty much all the demons they fell into like one of like 4 categories. Like, you had magic focused demons, then you had strength-focused demons, and then balance demons, and then speed-focused demons, and you didn't really have anything else. And like all demons, like in those categories, all pretty much had the same stat layout. SMT5 didn't have that.
Yeah, for sure.
And I also thought it was like with the demon whispering in SMT4 and Apocalypse, I thought that like made it a little too easy. I liked what they did with the like essence fusion in SMT5.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Okay, so
and I thought smirking was overpowered. I thought they did it better in Apocalypse, but like,
Yeah, I mean,
and
so
I think,
fellas,
like, I think the Megatsuki gauge was pretty cool too.
I'm just waiting.
yeah, I'm so glad all y'all went first. So
Yeah.
you already know that I fucking hate this game. It's probably the worst game that I played. No, it's not the worst game that I played last year, because last year I played Balan Wonderworld. I completely erased that fucking game out of my mind. That is without a doubt the worst. I've never suffered for longer in my entire life than those 12 whatever hours I clocked into Balan Wonderworld, but this game is pretty close. Like,
I'd still play it.
keep in mind, I don't think I ever said this, but when I had SMT5, LaRue came down, he gave me his Switch. I was house sitting for my friend's mom, right? So I had the house all to myself, this big ass beautiful house, and I had this dog. So it's just me and a dog watching some TV. Like, he's sleeping on the floor, I'm on the couch. This is like the prime way to play a fucking video game, right? This is how they want you to play Nintendo Switch, on a handheld, all cozied up on a couch. Tell me why for that entire weekend I was watching the place, I wanted to do literally anything else than fucking play SMT5. I left that shit on the fucking desk to do anything. I went outside, played basketball by myself. I went outside, swam by myself. I like, oh my god. Okay, so I don't care about the story. Stories, whatever. Everyone agrees that the story's ass. Characters are ass. Like, my thing with the gameplay is that y'all see the good shit about it, like what it did differently, or the fact that, oh, the combat's fun, exploration's fun. I see all the negatives, because that's just how I am. Like, everyone's like, oh man, press turn combat's so good in this game, except it's not, bro. It's not. It's unbalanced as fuck, bro. The amount of times you can skip turns when enemies can't, which I don't think they ever could have in any of the other games. It's just broken. Like, they made that infinitely more broken than it could ever have been by, you know. Yeah, have you seen them videos where it's like,
you mean turn passes, right?
Yeah, turn passes, and then they
that's
desummon all the demons and shit, so that your main character just is like 5-6 turns or some bullshit. That's kind of ridiculous to me. I think a lot of the changes that they made are made to alleviate the fact that, like, enemies are damage sponges and the game is not very hard. It's just giving you more opportunities to like pump damage into enemies that won't really die. For me, the most egregious thing was, I like how Gnarly was like, oh man, there's a vitality stat finally in the game. It doesn't fucking matter, bro. Matters for you, maybe. But like, the fact that enemy demons have like over three times the amount of HP as your summonable allies was ridiculous. Them Chios in the last dungeon was insane. I think when I was playing SMT5, I noticed that my level 92, so that's 10 levels above like the random encounter Chio, had like the level 82 random encounter had 3 times the amount of HP as my level 92 demon. Isn't that crazy to, like, is that not crazy to anybody else? So that's ridiculous. So that, like, respectfully, fuck what you're saying about the game being more balanced. The Megasuhi meter is busted. You don't need any others except for that one that like doubles the magic cost. For me personally, what pissed me off the most was the fact that physical attacks still cost magic to do. You know what I mean?
That was in SMT4 too.
Yeah,
it was
one of my least favorite.
Because
one of my least favorite things about SMT4 is the fact that physical skills cost magic. Because what is the one downside of all the physical demons in that game? They have no fucking magic.
Well, that's
they do have a lot of HP.
That's even worse than SMT4.
It doesn't matter if it's worse than SMT4. A game from 2021 should fix problems in a game from 2013. That was my big point of the video, my video, I should say, is that it is the job of the newer RPG to fix the problems of the older games while improving upon, like, you know, adding new stuff and improving upon what didn't work. I think the only thing that I can give SMT5 is that it made the skill affinity system that was in Apocalypse actually matter. You know what I mean? Like, because in Apocalypse, you could have a demon that's like -8 on ice. The damage, you don't give a fuck. Like, I remember watching Buffmeister play the game on his own playthrough. He would use demons that were -8 on every fucking element, and he'd still like be doing crazy damage because, you know, the level capping and the, what are they called, stat capping, like that just is whatever. It kind of alleviates all the damage. But in this game, I actually felt like I had to use a dark demon for dark skills or a fire demon for fire skills. That was the only thing where I genuinely felt like, hey, this actually works the way it's intended to.
Yeah.
But for me, the frame drops were ridiculous on both the Switch and other legal ways to play the video game. Legal ways. I think the changes to gameplay, like the fact that bigger demons, for whatever fucking reason, I think Tsuchigumo in the first area was one of the biggest cases where I first noticed that there was a problem. Bigger demons get fucking 2 press turns for no fucking reason, which is, again, ridiculously unbalanced.
Well, I mean, there were some demons like that in Nocturne too.
Yeah,
maybe not with 2. Well, I mean, pretty sure there were some with 2 press turns, but there were also some that could use Beast Eye.
Oh yeah, absolutely. That was stupid as hell. I think anything that adds turns like that is ridiculous, because that was one of my least favorite parts about Nocturne, and especially the mod hard type. That was my biggest like complaint about that. Like, their idea of making the game more difficult is just by giving them more turns, kind of the same way how, you know, this game's idea of making the game more difficult is by level gating your damage and busting up their stats or whatever, their HP. But I don't know, I just see all them negatives, and it's like, how did we move back? It's not just a case of not improving on what the older games had. My big problem is that we somehow went back and fucked up things that did not need to be changed. And that's why I don't like the game.
So I think the main issue with SMT5, at least, you know, from how you're seeing it, is because of the fact that there's such a big divergence between how SMT4 evolved, because at the end of the day, SMT4 is more of an evolution of SMT1 and 2. You know, the older games prior, like rather than Nocturne's gameplay, whereas SMT5 is more or less an evolution of Nocturne, where they take some elements of SMT4, like in Apocalypse, like the whole like what you guys mentioned, like the fact that the fact that physical attacks uses MP instead of HP. So with that, I think for the developers, I mean, again, I can't say for sure because I didn't really look into, you know, all the nitty-gritty details and stuff on how they developed SMT5, but I want to imagine that when it comes to improving a lot of the mechanics, they had to give and take a lot of what people may have complained about, but because of the fact that there's such a huge pool of people, it's kind of like the Sonic problem, where like you have the classic Sonic fans versus the modern Sonic fans, where they have like certain ideas of gameplay, where it's like, oh, you know, I love the overworld in Sonic Adventure 1, but I love like the mission-based system and the scores and stuff. You know, there's so many different like elements between like all these different entries and stuff that I imagine that when they made SMT5, they had to take like kind of like what they thought was like the best of like all these different like skills and like all these different things, and like at least with how you saw it, like a bunch of it just kind of like fell flat because they essentially just took the worst of like SMT4, Nocturne, and all those other games and just put it into one basically.
It's not even that, it's just the reluctance to improve. It is, you know what I mean? Like, all they took, I feel like most of the effort went into the fucking story, if that makes sense. The story and like the exploration is where most of the effort went to, because they put a lot of fucking like marbles into the fucking story being really cool. They really sold the stories. They really sold the characters. They put out trailers and things on websites with character descriptions for like, what is the green girl's name? Mizuru or something?
Miyazu.
Yeah. She has a character description and everything, and they made her like showed her in a bunch of trailers like she's actually a character that shows up in more than like 3 cutscenes.
That
like,
was underhanded. I hated that too.
They put a lot of emphasis on their characters and the story of the game. So like, I'm assuming that's where most of it went. So like, why? It feels like to me it is like too many cooks in the kitchen, or like they kind of felt it comes across as like insecure game design. They could have just simply put the same press turn combat system from like Nocturne and called it a day. That would have been perfectly fine. Nobody was going to complain. They could have added the Mangetsu meter, they could have added the skill affinities and just done it there. But then it feels like while they were developing, it's like, oh, what if we change this? What if we change the way like turn passing works, or maybe the way damage values work? It's icky, and it like reeks of like a lack of confidence to me.
The only thing, gameplay wise, I think the only thing I wasn't a big fan of, and I kind of quickly got used to it because I was able to kind of like shuffle the way I had to play like SMT games for this game, was how buffs and debuffs work.
That was never a problem. Honestly, like people were complaining about that.
At first, I was like, oh man, I hate the fact that it only lasted like 3 turns. But honestly, like if you just kind of like kept up with like how buffs, like if you just kind of like kept up with like how many times you kind of like used a buff, it's not too bad. But other than that, like I personally didn't have that big of an issue with the gameplay. Like I think the gameplay loop for me anyway was like fun enough. Because like the one thing I hate when it comes to like RPGs is like I'm playing an RPG, like the story could be like the best story in the world, but if I'm not vibing with the gameplay, or if like the gameplay is like super boring, I'm just gonna end up dropping it after a couple hours. And thankfully SMT5 didn't do that for me, because I know for a fact, especially given with how uninspired the story was, if they dropped the ball on the gameplay for me, I probably would have indefinitely have just been like, yeah, I can get back to this whenever, and it doesn't even matter if it's SMT. If a game's not fun, I'm not gonna go back to playing it.
Yeah, for me personally, obviously it is like a no-brainer to say that a Shin Megami Tensei game is gonna have good gameplay, so I judge it by those standards, you know what I mean? And the fact that it doesn't improve enough, and the detractive thing or the negative things about it were worse than the things that I thought were genuinely good, like the skill bit is. And for me, about the exploration and like the side quest mechanics and shit, there's a lot of nitpicky things that bother me. Like in SMT4, the quest would show you like a certain amount of stars for the difficulty, and you'd have to accept it and then go to the place. What really pissed me off was that after I did like the 4 celestial beast thing, when you go back and talk to Hua Long, and he's like, fight me now. I don't know how hard this boss is gonna be, and I didn't save after I beat the last guy, so I lost 10 minutes of progress where level fucking 40 me just beat the last celestial guy, and now I have to fight level 80 Hua Long because I didn't get to see how difficult the challenge was. It's ridiculous. There's so many little itty bitty things about like the exploration aspect of the gameplay that bothers me that I didn't cover in my video, but I don't know. It
reminded me a lot of like how Xenoblade 2 would handle it, because Xenoblade, or not Xenoblade 2, just Xenoblade in general, where it's like you have like a whole map, and then all of a sudden you see like a level 80 something character,
and then the music plays and you start shitting your pants. Oh my god. I've only ever played the original Xenoblade Chronicles, but like that was one of my favorite, like, not favorite, it pissed me the fuck off, but I just the first time around it's just like crazy. I'm so glad we all had this discussion.
So anyway, I'm really excited for Xenoblade 3. Looks great. I don't understand. Even though I'm still not a fan of the faces, I'm shocked that Saito was able to make actually like good character designs.
Yeah.
I'm shocked.
You guys are Xenoblade. I don't like Xenoblade. I played the first one. I didn't like it. I don't know if Gnarly is. What do you guys think about that? Like, just to switch topics.
I love Xenoblade. And like,
I tried playing the first Xenoblade. I wasn't a big fan of the gameplay, but I've heard Xenoblade 2 is better, so maybe I'll give that a try.
Okay,
it depends on who you ask.
There's a big to
what you're looking for.
Well, yeah, I know, but they'll be like, okay, like the main reason, like I've seen a lot of people shit on Xenoblade 2, but usually it's just because of the story, character designs. If the gameplay is good, if the gameplay is better, that doesn't bother me.
There's a lot of like, I'm not gonna get into it because Xenoblade combat system, especially with 2s, is like a whole different like can of worms. You can make a whole video just based off of comparing the 2 combat systems. But Xenoblade 2, I feel like you'll enjoy it. You really need to kind of like keep an open mind on a lot of kind of like what the story, characters, and all that is going to present to you. I really dig the combat. I really dig the story. I dig the characters. It's not a majority kind of opinion on it, because a lot of my friends, like I'm always a minority when it comes to like liking the characters or liking Xenoblade 2 in general. As long as you keep an open mind and you're willing to give the story game a chance, I feel like I feel like you could be down for it, Gnarly. I think you might like it.
Okay. Well,
I enjoyed it.
First,
Yeah.
it's one of those instances where for a lot of people, and this is totally not reasonable, but it's one of those instances where the game actually does get better after like
Oh yeah.
30 hours in terms of the story. There comes one point in the story.
How many
chapter
hours?
4,
I don't mean to interrupt you. How many fucking hours?
It's a long
like
game.
20 to 30. It's like 20 to 30 hours.
What is this?
No.
Fucking Persona 5? Okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah, no,
Okay,
it
when
is not reasonable at all, but it's true.
I beat this
Did you say
game.
20 to 30?
No, my playtime when I first beat Xenoblade 2 was 250 hours.
Oh.
Just saying.
Okay, you had to have been doing other stuff. That is
I-
not just the main story.
No, I was literally doing everything because I was like super duper enveloped into Xenoblade 2. I made sure to grind out all the blades, I made sure to get all the blades. I did all their side quests. I maxed out everyone's affinities. I literally did everything I possibly could in Xenoblade 2. So that's why my playtime was like that long.
Yeah, one of my
So how about
friends
that
like
gotcha?
well, one
The
of my
gotcha was
friends said
fun.
he 100%ed it, and he said it took him like 190 hours.
Yeah.
Oh.
But
That
I'm
gotcha
not-
system. I'm so glad there is like everything we've seen from Xenoblade 3 so far, even though we haven't seen combat. Everything we've seen indicates that gotcha system is gone, and I'm so happy.
I just looked up
I'm gonna miss
Xenoblade
it.
3. They got a black guy in this game now. Yeah, I'm gonna play this game. That's crazy.
Hell yeah! They got a black guy and a gray guy.
And a gray guy. Oh my god.
Yeah, he's a robot.
That guy's
My mom
literally-
said that when she gave birth to my older brother, he came out like purple and gray. So like some representation, you know what I mean? Like
Let's go. He's he looks to be like the stupid friend of the group.
Man, there's not enough green representation.
It really isn't.
They got Piccolo.
Yeah, but yeah, I'm excited. It looks to be fixing my problems with 2, so I'm happy.
what are your problems with you specifically?
The biggest thing is the gotcha system. I understand why they implemented it, but I
In a
despise it
console
all
game?
the same.
In a
Yeah,
console
it's
game?
it's not paid. It's not pay to win or anything, but it's still a gotcha system, and I hate it.
Pull down in it too. Yeah.
I don't mind
Yeah.
gotcha systems as long as it's not paid.
I literally just spammed the lizard super boss, and that's just got a.
There's a fucking lizard.
It's
You
like
can
Yeah.
fight a lizard. It's a gecko. Oh my god.
The first like 50
Level
the
108.
first half of the game is a lot rougher than the latter half in terms of the story. I'm not a fan of the character designs. There are some character designs that I do like. Morag looks fantastic.
I mean,
But when it comes to like the characters that I think really matter, I'm just not a fan. And I'm not talking about like how sexualized like the rare blades are. I'm talking about just certain character designs. Like I hate Rex's design.
that's very.
and then
that's very fair.
they're just I just have issues with it, and it's definitely the kind of thing where it got a lot better in the latter half. But I also don't blame anyone for dropping it in the first first half. My roommate dropped it literally at the exact halfway point.
Damn.
I was like, "Oh damn, man, you dropped it like right before it starts to get good."
But Maka, could we agree that everyone from Torno looks amazing though? Because
I can agree with that. Torna is a lot better. Torna fixes most of my problems.
My problem with a lot of these designs, and I know it's going to hurt a lot of people's feelings because there's a lot of anime people on Twitter.com that call anything drip because they've never been outside. I'm looking at the Xenoblade 3 designs, and they look a whole lot better than the ones from 2 and maybe 1. But, like, some of them just look stupid as fuck. Like, this...
Yeah, I agree.
Like, Ninja Guy looks cool. Black Ninja Guy looks cool. And this girl looks stupid. She looks like she's straight out of Soul Hackers 2. She's like a very generic, like, anime cyber design. And then you have this girl who looks like a fucking VTuber.
Which, by the way, for people wondering, I'm blanking on the black guy's name, but he's talking about I'm also blanking on the high end Tia girl's name, and then Cat Girl is Mio. Talking about the last one was Mio. The VTuber is Mio.
Black Ninja's name is Tyon. Tyon.
Yes.
And then Green Girl is Uni.
Uni. Yes. I remember that literally as you were about to say it. Fuck.
Can I say that it's so weird seeing a game with High End Tia and Gormati in the same like space?
Oh yeah, that's gonna be. High end. They're like races. One race is from Xenoblade 1, the other race is from Xenoblade 2.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's like, oh, they're together now, and that's kind of weird looking.
Look at this stupid blue girl design. This like, what is this thing with like neon hair like highlights that go on the inside? This is Senna, by the way. If y'all are watching,
It's because
She's a blade.
she's a blade.
this shit is just going one ear at the other. I'm sorry, it just looks dumb.
Yeah.
There's probably a story reason for everything, but it just looks fucking generic and stupid.
What do you
to
think?
me.
What do you think of the main character's design?
Everyone keeps making fun of the fact that it looks just like Flynn, but like, do you have any idea how many samurais have high ponytails?
By the way,
And,
Dad,
like-
look at this.
He does look like Flynn, but it is kind of cheating.
Yeah, like it is.
A lot of characters look like Flynn.
Yeah, and the position where he's like readying a sword is not a very uncommon thing either. I think people are just saying, "Hey, this anime guy looks like this anime guy." Fucking surprise! Holy shit! Next, you're gonna tell me that Naruto and Ichigo kind of look the same. Oh my god, they actually do kind of look the same.
Dang.
By the way, Dad, look at the thing.
Where is she going? Why is she flying away?
Yeah, it's the thing they could do with their wings.
That's
They can
really
fly.
stupid. That's really fucking stupid.
That's an actual thing that happens in the game too. in Xenoblade
Also,
1.
if we're getting Xenoblade 3, does that, like, if, like, the most recent Xenoblade announcement was 3, does that mean we can assume that Chronicles X is never going to get ported to Switch?
I really hope it does. I adore X for its own reasons. I think a lot of people went into it with the wrong expectations. They were expecting something more like 1. And they made it very clear prior to the game coming out that it was not going to be like 1.
Yeah,
it was going to be more
Yeah,
like a
well, I
gameplay-
mean, I
it
don't-
was gonna be more gameplay focused.
Like, I feel like a lot of people that wanted to play it couldn't because it was exclusive to the PU.
Yeah, no, it is a game that absolutely deserves a second chance now that people are more willing to give it a chance. That game is great.
I
The
need to
music
finish it.
the music ranges from genuinely beautiful to so bad it's amazing.
No. Just end it early. So bad. There's no amazing part to it. I was listening to it the other day because my friends were sending like really funny, bad JRPG songs, and I'm like, oh my god. Like, oh my god. This is like, I would say Persona is so bad it's good. You know what I mean? But that is just bad. That is just bad. I would be embarrassed if anyone heard me listening to that.
Yeah.
Alright, so in other gaming news, recently the Steam Deck came out, and that's something that a lot of people are talking about. Do you guys have any opinions on that?
So I was half tempted to pre-order one just for shits and giggles, but then I realized how much it was actually gonna be. Like, I think it was like what, like starting
It's
was
like
like
1,000.
500, right? Oh no, 1,000, right? Yeah.
It's real expensive.
Yeah. So then I'm like, can I change my mind? I'm not gonna do this. Even as a joke, it's a little.
Gabe
bit
Newell
too
could have
cheap.
walked up to your
Well,
door.
I mean, you
Gabe
got
Newell
the 64 gigabyte one that's 400, and then you got the 512 gigabyte one that's 649, and then 529 for 256
Yes.
gigabytes.
Why do you know all this, like, just off the cuff, bro? Like, why do you?
Because I'm looking at it on the website.
Oh, okay. I thought you was just like, oh, but did you know for this much you can get? I'm like, bro, how do you know that? That's crazy.
I just want to imagine that you were thinking that like Charlie was just like staring at the screen right now, just like in plain silence.
Yeah, just like
Just knew.
he just knew. He's a big Steam Deck advocate because he was like, oh yeah, a lot of people are talking. No, the fuck they're not. Yeah, like I know 3 people who bought one. They have not mentioned it since they got it. So I just thought you were a big Steam Deck advocate. You're like, oh guys, did you
I'm
know that
not.
you could get this
Well,
much?
what I was gonna say about the Steam Deck is that, like, I mean, it looks cool, but I don't really have much of a need for one because I already have a laptop. But if you're
Yeah.
like, I mean, if you want kind of like a more, like, I guess a more powerful alternative to the Switch, this is a pretty good option.
That's true.
Mm-hmm. I think it's very much just kind of a thing. I did watch a video. Like about 2 months ago, a month and a half. That was talking about how it's not actually being made to compete with the Switch, but rather it's it serves like a different purpose that's more about competing with Microsoft, and I thought that was really interesting. But outside of that, I mean, like, it's cool, but I don't care too much. It's very much like, hey, if someone wants it, good for them.
Yeah.
That's what they want.
Well, I just watch a lot of channels that like cover PC gaming related topics. So
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I think for me, it's like if I want to play my games on the go, then I have my Switch. Like I already have in my head kind of like what games I want to play on the go, and they're already on the Switch. And then if I want to play anything that I just want to like sit down and relax to, then I have my PC, you know, et cetera, et cetera. So yeah, so Steam Deck is great for people that think it fits for them, but for me, I don't think it's for me.
Personally, if my mentality, like, no offense, is like, if I'm gonna be out, why the fuck would I want to be playing games? So I've never ever had like this idea, like, oh, I want a game on the go. The most I have is DX2 on my phone, and the last time I played that in public was I recently just went out with a lot of my friends because they just came down from San Francisco. We went down, we partied and everything, and we went out to this club, and it was really, really uncomfortable. I was enjoying myself for like the first 30 minutes, and then people were like touching up on me, and people were like getting into fights and shit. I thought that was fun, but I got really bored, so I just started playing DX2 on my phone. I'm like, that's enough, you know what I mean? Like, so something like a Steam Deck or a Switch has never really interested me, at all. Because, like, I don't know, I feel like if I have them, I'm still gonna be playing them at home anyways. I think the only time I've ever actually taken a portable console out somewhere was like in high school, like senior year. I would literally just sit in the back of the class, like hanging out with my friends or talking with the teacher. Actually, fuck sitting in the back of the class. I'd sit right next to the teacher, just hang out, talk to him, play like Devil Survivor or something. He'd be like, "Hey, what are you doing?" And I'd be like, "Oh, I'm playing a game." He's like, "Okay." I just
and
like
the teacher will let you.
Yeah, I was like, literally, they didn't give a fuck. Like, I did my work, I turned it in, it wasn't a distraction. Like, most of my classes I either did not go to, and when I did, they just let me do whatever I want because I was just cool with everybody.
That's awesome, because most of my teachers hated video games with a passion, so they're like, no video games. Ugh.
Well, I also live in California, so everybody's just a lot cooler down here. I think the only class I wasn't allowed to was like AP Gov, Econ.
You should introduce me to those people. I live in California too.
It is absolutely, yeah. Just go back to high school, man. Like, we're grown ass men. We'll just go back to high school again.
Yeah, just go back to high school. Not a big deal.
Wear my old Letterman jacket, you know, just hang out there. Why not?
Absolutely.
Remember the blur case?
You know, yeah. Have a full-grown beard. You know, don't. You know, it's not creepy or anything.
No, absolutely not. No.
Yeah.
Well, okay. So in other gaming-related news, 3DS and Wii U eShops are going to be closing.
Rest in peace.
So
be specific. Be specific. It's closing in 2023.
Well, yeah, but they're gonna kind of like slowly, you know, like remove services, and then it's fully gonna be shut down next year.
What services are they removing? Like the internet access and shit like that?
It's basically what they did with the Wii and all that.
Then yeah, okay. So I know that a lot of people was complaining about that. Oh my god, they're doing that. Like, obviously the services need to shut down at some point, and I feel like people are complaining, but it's fucking going away in a year. You mean to tell me you can't buy all them games that you've been faking that you're gonna buy in a year's time? Like, the fuck? I feel bad only in instances where games are only available digitally for some people. Because I remember on my SMTV video, European was complaining like, "Oh, at least you guys got a physical release." Blah, blah, blah. I feel bad for shit like that. But at the same time, it is ending in a year.
Well,
like, come on now, bro.
Well,
like,
okay, here's what's happening. So in May of this year, they're going to make it so that you can't add funds with a credit or debit card. Then in August, they're going to make it so that you can't add funds with an eShop gift card. And then in March of next year, they're going to kill it entirely. So if you have any digital games that you want to re-download, you're fucked.
Gotcha.
Re-download?
Yeah, like if your console breaks or something.
Oh, shit.
So you better back up your files nicely. Yeah. But
yeah, I totally understand the financial reasoning for it. I totally get that. but the main concern is just the game preservation, because there's a number of games on there that are impossible to get otherwise, whether they be digital only or they be old games that are like hundreds of dollars, and incredibly hard to come by.
And
that's the main thing. Other than that, it's like, this is gonna happen eventually.
Yeah, I mean, there's also, you have emulation, which helps you preserve games, but we all know how Nintendo feels about emulation. And I know the Wii U is emulation for the Wii U is not super good right now.
It's rough right now.
But, I do think, I kind of agree with what Maka said. I think it's bullcrap that we're gonna lose a lot of games when this service shuts down, but can't really say I'm surprised.
It's just Nintendo being Nintendo.
Yeah, Nintendo
What are you gonna do?
Do you guys, are there any Wii U or 3DS exclusive games that you think people should get before it shuts down?
Xenoblade X.
If you guys are watching this video, then I'm pretty sure you guys are all SMT fans. Please go grab all the SMT games that are online right now, because a lot of them are really expensive out there, physically. So please download them if you guys can.
Also, I have a super unpopular opinion. I actually liked Devil's Third.
Okay.
Dang, I forgot about that game.
Most people don't even know it exists.
Yeah.
It's on the Wii U, so.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's another.
But it's kind of like a third person. It was directed by.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah. That's not really a hot take, Gnarly. You like tons of bad games. Is your favorite game Persona 3 or some bullshit?
It's one of them.
That's just you, man. You just like horrible games. It's fine.
Help me into.
But yeah, I think it's fun. You can get it right. I think physically it's $400, but you can get it digitally for $30.
Ugh, that hurt me. $400, Jesus.
Oh, and also Wii Sports Club, if those are your kind of games.
Oh, it's okay though. We got Nintendo Switch Sports.
You think that's gonna be any good or not?
I'll probably get it to play with my folks because they don't play video games. Feel like, hey, just like playing the Wii back in 2006. Let's go.
The games are so bad right now, right? To be real, the state of games is so bad right now. Every big anticipated release, minus Elden Ring, has been so ass. The state of multiplayer games are so bad right now. Halo Infinite was dog. Call of Duty Vanguard was dog. Battlefield 20. It says a lot about the state of gaming, where the most fun game that I've played in the past couple months is fucking Valorant. That is how horrible life is currently. Speaking of, fucking, what was the best game that y'all played last year? Give me your top 2 or 3 games of 2021. I want to hear.
Oh, dude,
I'm actually gonna have to think about this for a second.
Damn it! What did I played a bunch of games
SMTV.
Oh, I gotta go.
Persona 5 Strikers. And
that one game you hate.
Which one?
Whichever one Dad hates.
SMT5.
Yeah. No. You finish what you were saying, Yarly, and then I'll go.
I was gonna say SMT5, Persona 5 Strikers, and
it doesn't have to be released in 2021, by the way. If you played a new game, that counts too.
Monster Hunter Rise was a lot of fun.
Oh, that was great.
Monster Hunter Rise was super duper fun. I also played It Takes Two. That one was really good. I had a blast playing that with a friend. Man, last year I played a bunch of games though.
Yeah, you're struggling on the third one, bro.
For me, I think definitely my favorite game was Metroid Dread. I think that was just the best game I played last year. It's phenomenal, so good. I've been meaning to go back and replay it. Love Metroidvanias. I know a lot of people are very contentious about whether or not Metroid is a Metroidvania, but I consider it one. It's real good. It's real good. it's up there with some of my favorites.
What do you mean? Of course, it's not a Metroid. It's a Metroid game.
I mean, it's
Metroidvania
yeah,
is Castlevania.
yeah. I know. Some people insist that unless if it does not have RPG elements, it's not Metroidvania, which means Hollow Knight is not a Metroidvania, apparently. Even though it's also considered the best Metroidvania by a lot of people.
Shut the fuck up! All that matters is that it's just like an explorative action game.
We need a new term. Well,
Metroid.
I think what it is, we need to make a new term that isn't just Metroidvania. Let's just make a new term. Let's go.
No, just fucking call it what it's called instead of being.
Actually, it doesn't have RP.
Shut the fuck up.
Honestly,
if you're listening to this right now, you're one of them little fucking nerds that push up.
Technically, it's not a Metroidvania.
Shut the fuck up.
It's a game.
Honestly,
it is
to me, it's always felt like the people who always fought it was like, no, it's not. It feels like those people are like, I hate the fact that like Metroid did something and then Castlevania just kind of co-opted it and now it's like it takes half the credit. Yeah, I feel like that's what it is. It's like they want to act like Metroid is above what it's above it or something. I don't know.
They're both fucking cool. Who cares, bro?
Yeah, no, it's stupid. Metroid Dread's fantastic.
Well, to answer the question, it's an old game, but another game I played last year that I really liked is Hitman Blood Money.
Did Ghost Runner come out last year?
Well, like the question didn't have to be like games that came out in 2021, just any game that you played last year.
I played Ghost Runner, and Ghost Runner was hella fun.
I've heard it's good. It's free on PlayStation Plus this month.
Yes, it is. I highly recommend anybody play Ghost Runner if they haven't.
Was it my turn? Am I supposed to say it?
Yes, it's your turn.
Oh, okay, so like I just played all the Devil May Cry games last year, so 1 is definitely the best. No question, Devil May Cry 1, one of the greatest games ever made. And then, shit, what else did I play? I didn't play a lot of games last year. Okay, yeah, I did. I can't even think, like, you know what I'm saying? Because, like, I did not play any modern games last year. Besides SMT5 and, like, Vanguard, COD Vanguard.
Can I say something about Devil May Cry 1?
Is it negative?
It is a little bit.
Fuck no, shut up.
I tried playing it like 3 times and I keep getting bored. I never went back to finish it.
You're boring. Okay, the first, I won't even lie, like the first time playing that game was so fucking easy. The second time playing that game was so fucking easy. It was really boring. Then you play it on Dante Must Die. Oh my god, that shit put like hair on my chest, and I'm already a grown ass man with hair on my chest. So like now I'm like extra hairy. Like, oh my god, my balls are fucking massive after beating that fucking game. I swear to God, it's so satisfying, bro. Like Devil May Cry 1. I'll just say that, like, I don't have a top 3. My number 1 game that I played last year is Devil May Cry 1. That playing that game is like playing Shin Megami Tensei for the first time, you know what I mean? Where it's so difficult, but then you figure it out and you master it. Like, even though it is still kind of hard because you're still learning, just that feeling of beating every little challenge was so fucking satisfying, bro. Ooh. And then finishing all them secret missions, just 100%ing a game that you really fucking enjoy. And going back to it all the time is just fucking great. That
was me with Xenoblade 2. Put 250 hours in that game.
It's been years since I last replayed DMC 1. I need to do that again.
You need to, and you need to do it on the hardest difficulty. It's so much fun.
Yeah, otherwise it's boring.
Absolutely.
I got actually kind of a quick thing. I got a PS5 last year. Thankfully, I was lucky enough to take advantage of the fact that a bunch of people in line didn't know they needed to get a ticket and didn't actually have to wait in line. But along with it, I got DMC5 Special Edition, and I dabbled around with it. Did about 4 missions playing as Virgil on Legendary Devil Knight.
Legendary Dark Knight.
Dark Knight, yes. Okay,
yeah,
I knew it was.
Don't worry.
Yeah, thanks, bro. Did that. I was like, this is having a bunch of fun. Need to come back to this at some point. Have not gone back to it. I want to go back to it, but there's a part of me that's also like, I borderline 100%ed the original release of DMC5, and I could not transfer that stuff over, and that is really discouraging. And I wish there was a way I could transfer my save or at least unlock everything else instantly.
Oh yeah,
That's
for
nice.
sure. And I guess I can fucking say, since I don't have any other games that were like my favorite of 2021, I guess I'd say Persona 5 Strikers in like a guilty pleasure kind of way. I've had this sick, disgusting fucking urge to go back and play it again because like I was saying this on my stream the other day, but like the most fun I can have with that game, because it's so mind-numbingly easy, there's absolutely nothing about like the actual combat, the fighting, that is enjoyable to me. What I found really fun about that game was picking Yusuke, doing his like infinite combo special, and just see how long I can get away with mashing that fucking button before I get hit, before I have to dodge, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I just want to go back and replay it on like hard or some bullshit and just see how long I can get away with that, because that was fun to me. I think in my video I showed like me melting the shit out of like a mini boss or some bullshit just by like completely standing still and mashing triangle. It was great. It was great. I'd say that because like I dropped like 80 hours in that game, so obviously I didn't like dislike it. It's just so nothing. It's like a nothing video game. It's like a mindless experience.
I kind of get that. It feels a little bit like fast food, where it's like it's fun. It's not exactly the best, but it's fun.
I
wouldn't even call it fun.
I really enjoyed it. I thought like I don't know. I thought like gameplay wise, it was like a really nice mix between like Muso and like regular like Persona, because of like the fact that you could be able to switch between like different personas. Like I did not expect Joker to. I did not expect you to. I did not expect them to actually bring like actual Persona fusion into this. That was really crazy.
I completely forgot that was a thing. Like, can I be honest? I did not use Joker like more than maybe 3 times in the game.
I used everybody. I thought everyone was fun. Like everyone felt different enough to like actually warrant using for me. And I don't know. I had a really fun time for what it was.
I did not touch on or the bike girl, the annoying bitch.
Makoto.
What's her name? Yeah, and Haru.
I love Haru. Oh my god, her gameplay was so fun. It was fun, just bashing people's skulls in with an axe.
I played Zucchini a little bit, or what's his name? Zenkichi? Yeah. Okay.
I hate
Zucchini.
His gameplay is fun, but like his mechanics and stuff, and like the fact that like your health drains like super fast, I wasn't really a big fan of that one.
Well, you're not gonna fucking die. The game's easy as shit. So you just like berserk. You know what I mean? You just go unga bunga. See, that's the way I play action games. Is I unga bunga. I fucking like go ape strength, and I just try to beat the shit out of everybody. That's just how I love playing these games. That's why I don't like any of the characters that don't do anything more than like my main team is like Sophia, Ryuji, Yusuke, and Joker. And the only person I really used was Ryuji and Yusuke.
Yeah.
Yusuke was absolutely my favorite character in that
Virgil,
game.
bro.
Yusuke is great. Yeah, Virgil's great.
Yeah.
Apparently you can Virgil in Elden Ring, and that's pretty cool.
Ooh.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that game. Y'all playing Elden Ring or what?
I've been playing Triangle Strategy. I want to do Elden Ring eventually.
The only Souls game I really got into was just Sekiro, and that was it.
Wow.
But Sekiro was like, but that's just because like Sekiro is like an entirely like different type of game, like at least gameplay wise.
Yeah.
I'm like 5 hours into Elden Ring, but honestly, like I've just been like spending a buttload of hours into playing like Grand Theft Auto. I've been going through like Grand Theft Auto 3, like playing all the way through like all the different like titles in the series. So I've just been mostly doing that.
Do you think we should get to questions, Charlie? How long have we been on here for?
About
we should
an
go for
hour.
a little.
Yeah, we should probably end
Yeah,
it
we
there.
should get to questions.
Right. I have some questions selected. I will post them in the chat. Okay, so Darkwing asks, with SMT5 out and Soul Hackers 2 and Persona 6 on the way, at least we think it's on the way, which would you rather have after that, SMT 6 or another spin-off of some sort? I'd rather have Devil Survivor 3 if we're
That
talking
spin-off.
spin-offs.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'd rather another new spin-off.
I feel like a little too soon for an SMT6 at the moment, so yeah, definitely spin off.
I feel
Yeah.
like let SMT die at this point, bro. Like they clearly don't know what to do with the fucking franchise, and I feel like
disagree.
Atlas as a brand is big enough where you can create your own new thing. Maybe even like a new
Well,
spin-off.
I mean,
don't give a
that's-
fuck. Like just
That's kind of what they're doing with RE Fantasy.
yeah. Oh yes, fucking give us our
Where is that
fantasy.
game?
Yeah, like
I'll have
give
to
it.
fight.
Well,
Oh my
there's
God.
another question about that. which we'll get to.
Mm.
But
You just like fucking sparked the shit in my brain. Like, where the fuck is that, bro?
Oh my god, it's been 6 years.
Hold on,
That's
can
right.
someone enlighten me? What's RE Fantasy again? I kind of forgot.
That's the new
it's
that's the
a
new
game that Atlas announced like 5 years ago. They're like, hey, we got this new like fantasy game that we're working on, and we don't know when it's out, but we're working on it. And they keep like drip feeding us info, but we still don't really know like what it's about or what it is. I mean,
Yeah,
RE Fantasy's not even. I mean, I hope it's not the official title because I think that name is dumb. But
pulling a triangle strategy and Octopath Traveler.
they released this video in like I can't remember when, but it was just like this night, and he was like eating chicken, and that was apparently to promote RE Fantasy.
Yeah, there's like hella art and shit like that, and they released so much for it. Like a lot of. Well, LaRue made a video on it, like everything we know about RE Fantasy so far, and like it's just disappeared. You know what I mean? Like it's just gone. So I'm hoping maybe this year, every single year, I'm like, oh, this year will be the year we get some information, but like we haven't yet.
I actually remember what RE Fantasy was. I remember being super hyped about it, but then all of a sudden, like, I just forgot, dude.
Well, yeah, I mean,
I
like,
got stated too. Y'all are in the same boat. Then.
yeah, I saw people get excited about it. I was just like, I'm like, we don't know, like, we don't even know what this is. Like, I learned my lesson about getting excited for Atlas releases with SMT Crossfire Emblem
Yeah, I remember
and
seeing
Persona
that.
5.
Holy shit, this was like a hidden memory of or something like that. Holy shit, I forgot about this.
All right,
Yeah,
but
right.
yeah, I'd rather have I'd rather have more like a new SMT spinoff than SMT6.
Mm-hmm. We're good on SMT for a minute.
But okay, next question. Demi Crow asks, "What music style would you like to see P6 take?"
Good.
Death metal.
I don't really care what it is as long as it's fucking good. Stop rapping, bro. Like, give up on rap. Like, don't ever bring back. Like, I know we haven't had like a rap song in a Persona game in like forever. Give up on it. Never ever come back to it. Don't hire Lotus Juice again.
Queasy Trigger.
Bollywood music. On Bollywood.
Oh, that'd
Persona
be-
6 in India.
Facts, bro.
That'd be
Like that'd be kind of lit. I've only
Persona-
heard like
on the tabla, you know, little
that'd be pretty bad.
little thump.
Persona 6 in India?
In Bangladesh, hell yeah, bro. Like get them all in there.
Bangladesh, that's my country.
I think
Everyone's still Japanese, though.
maybe not.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I wouldn't mind if it was death metal, but how about like I think I'd rather something like symphonic metal.
I feel like low-key the next Persona game is either gonna be like just generic pop again, or they'll probably just try to be like down with the kids and do like some hyper pop type shit. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, Persona 4, it was kind of like J-pop. I mean, I don't think they're
yeah.
gonna
I
do
mean, like
J-pop
I
again.
mean, like more modern pop. Like imagine,
God, I hope it's not
imagine
K-pop.
Persona 6 and the music's done by like 100 gigs or some bullshit, or like Blade or some bullshit.
I'm
That
trying
would be fucking hilarious, bro.
Hold up, I'm trying to Google like some really obscure music genre that's just like a mashing of random words. New Jack Swing, why not? I don't know.
What?
Okay, that's everyone's just gonna be like, oh my god, Sonic CD, right? Like,
What about
Yeah.
like what about like folk music?
Oh, that'd be
Japanese
great.
folk music, that'd be hilarious as well.
I mean, if they were to do country, I'd be okay with that as long as it's like classic country.
American
You know, good
oh
country,
my
not the
gosh.
modern shit that's about tractors and beer.
Or
Yeah,
American.
I mean, I don't really care as long as it's good, but you know, I already know that like it literally the lyrics could be like beep beep in my car, beep beep. I put a jar in my ass or some shit, and people are like, oh my god, this shit is so fire. You know what I mean? Like,
You saying that just
I've-
reminds me of Mr. Krabs being like beep boop beep boop boop.
yeah, beep boop. Yeah, it could be literally be like Mr. Krabs like on the radio music, like, and people would think that shit's fire. So like, I don't care. Just
Oh,
make
yeah.
it not bad.
Yeah. All right.
That's
So
great.
next question is Anthony Minigun 5. He asks, "What do you think of Soul Hackers 2 approach to its mature rating? Like how in the most recent trailer it showed blood."
Oh no, it's your blood. I think I already said what I have to say about it. It's just trying way too hard to be dark because SMT games need to be dark, right, guys? Dark and mature and dark and gritty.
I'll be
Like,
honest.
fuck off.
I'll be honest. I mean, I kind of like. It's kind of like in the back of my head, I'm already kind of expecting an Atlas like RPG to already have the rated M rating. So it's like, I don't really think too hard about whether or not an Atlas RPG is going to warrant its M rating or not, whether they're going to say fuck or whatever.
Well, I mean, usually, like with most Atlas games, the reason SMT and Persona is rated M is because it's usually like there's one or two scenes that just kind of push it over the line for a T rating. But at least from what we've seen of Soul Hackers 2, it looks like it actually kind of deserves it.
I just like the reasoning of like, oh, the reason why like a lot of these SMT games are rated M is because Mara's in it.
Yeah, like low-key, most of the demon designs are the reason why the games are rated M. I don't think a lot of the content, especially in a game like SMT5, would warrant it.
Yeah,
besides the fact that like kids are getting skewered in like one cutscene, like that's it.
Yeah, like there's no SMT game that has like a hard M rating. If that's what they're going for Soul Hackers 2, then
I think Nocturne does. I think Nocturne does because you have people getting like squished to death by like the big old rock. You have like,
didn't Nocturne get like an all ages rating in Japan though?
I have no idea.
I think it was Sero C. I'm pretty sure. C is usually like.
Well, yeah, they're usually the ratings are usually lower in Japan.
Yeah.
I honestly, so when I watched the trailer, when I was watching the trailer, I'll be totally honest. When she got shot, and then paused for a second and then screamed, I laughed.
Oh yeah, it was so corny. You're talking about the green bitch Ringo, right?
Yeah.
She gets shot like point blank by a fucking sawed off, and all she gets is like 3 little holes. Like imagine in The Last of Us 2 if Joel gets shot in the leg and he just like looks at the dinky holes and he screams, bro.
Well, I mean, like Call of Duty, you could shoot a guy. You could shoot a guy in the chest point blank with a shotgun, and he'll still live and shoot at you.
This is 100%.
Well, that's because you're bad.
This is 100%. Soul Hackers 2 is 100% going to be a game where you are going to get shot regularly in gameplay, and then you get shot once by like a fucking BB gun or something in a cutscene, and the character dies.
It just comes off as try hard.
Yeah, like Persona or like Persona 3.
It looks a little edgy. I'm willing to see what it does, but it looks a little edgy.
Also, what do you mean there's no game that has like a hard M rating? DDS, bro. People get like torn apart in that fucking game.
Oh yeah, I guess you're right. DDS.
I didn't even think about it, so I can't even give you shit like that.
Yeah.
Okay, well that's like the only one.
It don't matter. It don't matter. We found one. You asked the question. We found an answer.
Okay. All right. So next question is by Ali. I'm just gonna say AJ. I'm not gonna try to pronounce that. But he asked if the Rhino games had a remake, would you prefer to be made by Platinum Games, the Yakuza team, or Team Ninja?
I'd rather them not fuck with any. I don't trust this Atlas with anybody. So
I'm gonna say Team Ninja because they kind of have experience with like, they kind of have experience with the franchise with Persona 5 Strikers. So I'm gonna say them. If you had asked me 5 years ago, I would have said Platinum, but Platinum's most recent game, Babylon's Fall, I've heard is kind of dog water. So
yeah, there's a lot of debate as to like why it turned out the way it did. Typically I would say Platinum, but the thing is, I don't think Platinum can take any more failures right now. They're kind of not in good shape in terms of like finances. They've been saying some stuff.
You heard about? Did you hear about like that Scalebound might get revived?
Yes, that was a rumor I heard.
Yeah, I think that would probably help.
They need a game to sell well. They need another Nier Automata. And I would say Platinum, but I'll be totally honest. If they were to remake Rhino, I don't think it would sell well enough to help Platinum. And I feel like I would rather they spend their time on something that's more guaranteed to be a success. Make a Nier 3 or something.
Bro, low-key, fucking the combat mechanics in Persona 5 Strikers was fun enough that I would not mind if like they toned it down a little bit. You know what I mean? And made that like a Rhino 3 or a Rhino remake. That was fun. Like, instead of like summoning the persona to do an attack, like you open up that menu and you give them commands and shit. That'd be pretty dope. There's already guns in the game. There's already sword swinging in the game. There's already items in the game and demon summoning and shit. Like, well, not summoning, but like persona shit. It'd be fun.
Quick little proposal. How would you feel if they made a Raito game that played somewhat like was based around how V played in DMC5? Not one to one, but like similar concept.
I feel like that'd be kind of weird because then Raito's also supposed to fight at the same time, so it'd be a little weird.
Yeah, I can get that. I think it'd definitely be something like I want to see that kind of gameplay come back for some game. I had considered Raito at one point, but I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm open to whatever. I don't have
All
an
right.
opinion on.
Next question is by Patrick, and he asks, any thoughts on the Persona 4 Arena games getting physical copies only in Asia? Yeah, it's bullshit.
What?
I was gonna get it digitally anyway. So
I don't really care. That shit don't bother me, bro. Like, I don't buy games, so most of my games are digital because I don't buy games for myself. They're usually just gifted to me.
I mean, I have the physical versions on PS3, but I don't know. I would have liked to have a physical copy, but I mean,
You're a little nerd.
Physical is better for preservation's sake, but I think it's stupid. But I'm also not like terribly broken up about it.
Yeah, same here. I think the only time I care about physical releases is if I'm getting like if I'm pre-ordering like a special edition of like a game from a series I really like.
Okay, well, next question is by Moon Rabbit. He asks, what do you think about Atlus's decision to release SH2 on Xbox?
Good for them. I don't give a fuck. Like, good for them. It's not gonna sell well in Japan. People who are probably bitching about not getting any SMTV games on Xbox in the West.
I think that's a little bit of that Phil Spencer going in and trying to be like, yo, Sega, put some more of your games on Xbox specifically for Game Pass.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's not.
I think this is more for Game Pass.
Yeah, like it's not just coming to Xbox; it's also coming to the Microsoft Store. So I think it'll probably come to Game Pass. But I mean, if it means that people on Xbox get to play SMT, and then people with Xbox Game Pass get to play it, I think
it will not do well. It is not the
a lot.
same as putting like Shin Megami Tensei 5 or Persona on the Xbox because people are asking for those games specifically. I don't think outside of 9, Xbox gamers had never had one of those things before. So everybody they're like probably the most outsider fans. I feel like if you're not putting a big series title on there, people aren't really going to be interested. Soul Hackers 2 it's not really the wave, you know what I mean? Soul Hackers was popular in Japan, so they're making that. Like, it's not like a Shin Megami Tensei thing or a Persona thing where it's big in the West as well. So I don't know. I already know it's not gonna be very well.
I can't say for anyone else, but I personally have a few friends that only play on Xbox, and I showed them the Soul Hackers 2 trailer, and they're like, "Oh, cool! This is something that I can actually pick up," which is wild to me because I'm just like, "Oh, damn."
Well, I mean, if it does launch on Game Pass, I imagine a lot of people will have never, thought about, SMT or even really JRPGs. They might give the game a shot because it's included in Game Pass.
That's absolutely a possibility.
But I mean, I'm probably gonna get. I'm probably gonna get it on Xbox just because I want to support more Atlus games coming to Xbox, and there aren't I can't really think of any off the top of my head. I can't really think of any Atlus games on Xbox One that I own I own physically.
Mm-hmm.
But alright, so Mr. No to Body asks, any opinion on Project RE Fantasy Silence and predictions for its future? Well, we kind of already talked about that, but I don't know, it just seems like it's one of those things where now I'm just kind of like, it'll happen when it happens. I'm not gonna get my hopes up. I mean, it's like we said earlier. We don't really know much about it. We don't even really know what kind of game it is. I'm guessing it's going to be an RPG.
I'm a fiend, bro. I'm a menace. I need it right now. I need it now.
I don't
Right
really
now.
think there's anyone with that mentality
I
towards
forgot it
RE
That's
fantasy.
LaRue, bro. That's LaRue and Spider. They always bring that shit up, bro.
What about you guys?
Yeah, kind of what we said before. The silence is. It's weird because they haven't necessarily been silent because they have said things. They just haven't said anything of like any real substance. So it's frustrating. As for predictions for the future, man, I don't know. I don't know when the heck this thing's coming out. I don't know when we'll see it next. It's something that at this point I'm just kind of, we see it when we see it. If we don't see it in the next 3 years, I'm just gonna say that game
Watch
is.
It's just vaporware.
It'll reach that point. It'll reach that point eventually.
I mean, I've said my piece on it where I completely forgot it even existed.
Yeah.
That's my stance on it.
And I mean, like, and another thing is, like, when this game does come out, like, it's gonna have to live up to a lot of hype. Like, if it's disappointing, then it's not gonna be a good look for Atlas.
I mean, it wouldn't be the first time.
Oh, okay.
Dang.
I can't say if I've ever been disappointed from an Atlas game personally. I don't know.
Don't worry. I'll do that shit for you.
You could be disappointed for me.
Don't worry, I will.
You got my back.
Well, and like another thing is, like, you know, so from what I've read is that Soul Hackers 2 has been in development since 2019. I mean, the team working on Soul Hackers 2 has been able to make that game pretty much from the ground up. But, like, in the time that, like...
3 years? That's pretty fast.
Yeah, like, they've been working on that game, and it's coming out this year. And, like, Project RE Fantasy, it was announced like 5 years ago, and we still don't really know anything
End of
about it.
2016.
I have to wonder, like, what the employees, like, working on that game are doing in Atlas's HQ. Like, are they actually working on it, or are they just taking coffee breaks all the time?
Coffee breaks, I don't know.
Or maybe they're just juggling multiple projects.
Figuratively and literally.
Yeah. Alright, okay, next question is by Star. She asks, would you prefer turn-based combat or hack and slash for P6? I mean,
Turn-based.
Yeah, I'm gonna say turn-based I'm assuming that Persona 6 gets spin-offs. I'd be okay with an action hack and slash for that, but for regular Persona 6, I want it to be turn-based, because that's what, like, that's what I think of when I think of the gameplay of Persona.
Persona is like a breeding ground for spin-offs within itself. So
Yeah, we know
you can
Persona
say
6 is going to get a whole bunch of spin-offs.
Mhm.
Wait, what was the question? I wasn't ready.
Would
Would you
you
prefer
was it?
turn-based combat or hack and slash for Persona 6?
Oh, the person who asked that question kind of fine. If that's you in your profile picture, turn-based for damn sure. Like, just do what you do right, you know what I mean? I don't think Atlas can do a hack and slash. She's kind of fine.
Okay.
Respectfully. Not in a weird way, in a nice way.
Hell yeah.
All right. Okay. Next question is by Genesect Lover 69. What would you like to see from a SMT5 Apocalypse / Maniacs?
Make it a good game, or actually no, don't make it at all. Okay, let me set up for this bullshit. Okay, so everyone in my comments on my SMT5 video was getting all nerdy. That's pushing up their
Well, actually, this is just the first release. You already know they're gonna make a Maniac / Apocalypse version of SMT.
fuck no, make the game good the first damn time. If this is gonna be some bullshit where they're like,
Oh, we didn't have enough time to work on the game, so we're gonna release it.
fuck you. You had like 4 fucking years in here. You rewrote it like 6,000 times, bro. It's not like a Nocturne where they didn't have enough time. This is the first time making a 3D game. Like, they really wanted to put a lot of effort into it, and so they re-released it with so many new additions and shit. Fuck you. No, make the game good the first damn time. They could release an Apocalypse Maniacs fucking 3.0 HD remaster, record breaker. What is that? Overclocked? Like, no, fuck that. You should have made the game good the first time. This is a bad fucking look. At least Nocturne had like a complete story with actually different endings in its first run through. Like the Maniacs version just added more context. And it finished like their one story that they wanted to tell. The original version was satisfying enough. The Maniacs was just more shit that completed one story that they wanted to tell. It was their main theme, you know what I mean? Like, if I were to play the original Nocturne, I would not feel like, damn, this is an incomplete game. It needs more to it. This game, SMT5, was incomplete as fuck, and it took 6,000 fucking years to come out. Fuck you. If you make a Maniacs version, I will not buy. Actually, no, I'll take it back. If you make a Maniacs version, I will personally buy it, not play it, and then, like, I don't know, throw it or something. I don't know, break it. The Switch games are kind of tiny. I can't really do anything to it. I'll just, like, throw it at a wall or something. Like, give it to somebody who needs it.
Can I answer
Eat it.
So, for me personally, the story expansion mostly. Story expansion, I guess minor gameplay tweaks.
Give Miyazu a bigger role.
Who?
That too.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's
The,
mostly
the
it, I
Joker
guess.
girl.
The Joker girl.
Yeah.
What is it? How do you spell that?
What the
Oh,
Miyazu?
Okay, that really fucks with me because I literally talked about her like 30 minutes ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's so bad. That's so bad. Anyway,
Fantasy all over again.
Yeah. I'm honestly, I'm on the side. I'm on Dad's side. I even made a joke about this when I was talking about in my story video, where it was just like, this is the story reeks of like rewrites. It reeks of just like there are good ideas here that were just not done well, and if they were to make a Maniacs or some enhanced re-release to fix it, it'd be like, cool, you should have done that the first time. You should have just done this shit the first time, but whatever. But I just know that I'm confident they are going to do an enhanced re-release. They're not going to actually fix the problems with it. They're just going to add in some new waifu with a story that doesn't really fit in with the rest of it. Because that's their MO.
Like Alex.
That's their MO. Yeah, like Alex, like with friggin' Mary.
imagine
with
if it was just
Marie.
dead ass just
Marie,
Alex
excuse me.
SMT5. Like
It's
they
just
don't
Alex,
actually
yeah.
add a new character. They just bring her back. Like, hey, what's going
Just-
on, fellas? What's up, man?
Oh man, there's kind of a thing with the Digimon series in the recent games. There's this one character that they just keep bringing back in each one, and imagine Alex for that. That'd be hell.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about because they just beat Cyber Sleuth a couple months ago.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
All right. Next question is by Miguel CG. Hopes for a P3 remake.
Can I answer first?
Oh, sorry.
So P3 remake, I want to put a hold on that because personally, I want a remake of Persona 1 and 2 simply because I want people to experience Persona 1 and 2 the way it's meant to be intended. I know it's not going to happen. I know for a fact I'm asking for too much, but I would rather a Persona 1 and 2 combo remake than Persona 3 remake personally. That's all I have to say.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think Persona 3 needs a remake either. I think if we were to get a Steam port that kind of like combines FES and portable, that's what it needs. But I don't think it needs a from the ground up remake. I'd rather Atlas work on new things.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm not in the camp of P3 remake. I absolutely think that like I feel like there are better, not better in the sense of like better quality, but better choice Persona games to actually remake that would need it a lot more than P3. I think people who I think, and I mean this with no offense, I think a lot of the people who say we want a P3 remake or something, or like they have to do that, I think that's more so they just don't want to. I feel like it's more of this era of like, I just don't want to go back and play like an old game. And it's like, yeah, well,
for sure. These motherfuckers want everything handed to them on a silver platter. Like they get their remake and then they're like,
Okay, but where where's the Switch version? Or like, oh my God, are you bringing it to P?
You know what I mean? They ask for so much, and when you give them what they want, they ask for more. Instead
Well,
of just being like,
you
"Hey,
give them a
yeah."
Persona 3 remake, they're then gonna ask for Persona 4 remake, and then a Persona 5 remake.
Yeah,
But
like
never
I feel like
anything that's not the thing they want.
Persona 3 is so irredeemably bad design wise. I don't think remaking is gonna fix it, bro. Like you can't remake bad gameplay decisions like fucking Tartarus or being sick or whatever. Like I don't know. I don't feel like you'll be able to fix all that. Good luck though. Good luck if you do.
P1 and 2 remake. Let's go.
I feel like they could fix that, but I don't know. I feel like those games are pretty fine as is as well. Like, I feel like around that time was the time, like the 90s time specifically. I also said this on my stream one time, is that like Persona 1 and 2 specifically are very much games that are designed to be played with a guide in your lap. And there's nothing wrong with that. Like, I enjoy that. When I played Persona 1, I had a guide up on my other monitor, and I was just having a fun time playing the game, just chilling in my chair, like getting all cozy. No snacks. I don't need in my room. That's just nasty. But like, it's just
Snacks
fun.
are
I feel like
nasty.
if you remake that, you kind of take away that aspect of it. And I already know that if they do remake the game, they'll try to add some extra bullshit to try to make like the story feel more full when it doesn't really need to be that way. And I don't know. I just don't trust Atlas with fucking anything. You know what I mean? I want them to be in stasis where they just don't create things, but also still make money and still are in business. Because they just ruin everything they touch so far.
I think at this point, if Atlas were to shut down, that'd probably be for the best. I think.
I don't know about all that. I feel like they could try
Because
making their own things, but just stop fucking with old
Let-
things that are like
Let Sega
good.
eat Atlas whole and do that.
Eat them.
I don't know.
Alright, next question is by Sweet Bean Amin. What you wanna eat?
Yeah, what's up,
could-
Amin?
I could go for some sushi right now.
I
Bro.
could go for a snack.
What kind of snack?
I could go for some pretzels.
Okay. Well, like the big
Wanna-
pretzels?
Not a big pretzel, just like a bowl of them.
Oh, okay.
Want a good old, nice and juicy In-N-Out burger, like a nice double, maybe
Yeah,
animal style.
Too
That'd
bad
be
there are
nice.
no In-N-Outs in my state. We
Good.
got a
Had
Whataburger,
I want
though.
you to suffer, bro. Am I supposed to? I don't want anything. I'm about to go work out after this. I don't want to eat before I work out.
Okay.
Yeah, that's smart.
All right. Okay, next
Oh.
and last question is, what are your thoughts on the Funky Akechi game rumor?
That is
Um,
so fake.
What?
I don't
What?
think the rumor is true, but if we were to get a game about Akechi, you should make like Hitman Blood Money just with Akechi instead of Agent 47.
I don't want that. I think it's a bad idea.
Okay, but like if we had to get like a spin-off game about Akechi, what would you want it to be?
Yes.
Good. I don't know. Like
If we
I don't know.
had-
Like,
Okay,
what
so
kind
Hitman
of?
Blood
You're
Money, that's
asking
a
me
good
what do I
game.
feel about like the single worst fucking character in Persona 5? Like I don't know. Make it good, I guess. Like
I
make
guess,
me not
but,
hate him. Like make him like a good character. Like you couldn't even do that in fucking Royal. You gave him so much screen time, bro. Like come on now.
I would want whatever. I don't know what kind of game I'd want it to be, but I know if they were to do it, I want it to be like Final Fantasy Origin, where it's just so incredibly edgy, it's laughable, and it's endearing in its own right. I just want it to go full blown like we are not self-aware. That's what I want.
I think,
I love Jack. I haven't even played the game, but I love the man.
I think I just want a stripped down version of P5, but just
Strip,
play
no,
it.
he's a child. Don't say that. Strip down.
No.
Oh my gosh. No, but like, yeah, just like Persona 5 gameplay, but just make it so that it just fits with just Akechi being playable with just him and like I guess his two personas. I don't know.
I'll just make it like an SMT game or some bullshit.
Basically,
Where he has like 2 demons or whatever. Oh, dude, make it like DDS, bro. There's 3 partners and 3
Persona
DDS,
5
you know what I mean?
Akechi's chapter.
Yeah,
Yeah. Make it like
chapter and
SMTV.
SMTV.
Yeah.
but it's just his
Yeah.
solo chapter. It's kind of like
You mean
in,
Akira's chapter? Hazama chapter is like or Hazama, whatever the fuck is like a mobile game or some bullshit.
Like,
Oh,
if you
yeah.
guys, if you guys ever played Kingdom Hearts Chain of Memories, you know how like the majority is like Sora's like story, but then
Oh yeah, the Riku part, the Riku bit.
story, yeah, just do it like that.
Not a bad idea.
A DLC for Persona 5 Strikers where you just play as Akechi the whole time.
Yeah.
I'm surprised
Except
they
it's in
didn't
the
add him
original
as
Persona
DLC.
5. Yeah, it's the original Persona 5 timeline. So you're like you log it, you spend the $50 on a DLC, you download it, you start up the game, and he's just fucking on the floor dead.
I wonder when they were making Strikers, did the team, were they not aware of like the royal storyline, or did
I
they
mean,
just not
I'm
want to?
pretty sure they were aware. I just don't really. I don't know for sure, but I'm pretty sure Royal's not actually canon.
I don't think it is. I don't really
That's
care
bad.
about Overwatch.
Beyond-
What is it called? Persona. I said Overwatch. I don't care about the Overwatch lore or Persona 5 lore. Fuck.
I mean, I don't care about the Overwatch lore either.
No facts.
A lot of people. do.
Yeah, I don't even think Blizzard cares about it outside of this character. Oh shit, we have some real bad stuff happen. Hey, guess what? This character's gay.
That's
Which
another
sucks
thing.
because the new semester of Royal is better than the main story for that game.
No. Persona 5 Akechi spinoff is he's a Phantom Thief still, but he's an employee at Blizzard, and his objective is to steal his coworker's breast milk. That's an actual story. Hey, let me see if I can find that because that sounds really out of
Then
pocket.
he goes on stage and announces Diablo Immortal.
Oh my god, I love it.
It's just an
Don't you guys have phones?
It's just an out of season April Fool's joke.
And Joker asks
Oh,
him,
that guy.
"Is this an out of season April Fool's joke?"
Akechi-
And Akechi says, "Do
Akechi
you guys
just-
not have phones?"
Akechi just goes up to Haru and just starts staring at her.
That's fucked up, bro. Like,
Oh,
here, there's a link. Yeah, Blizzard employee who stole breast milk may have been found. If that's not the greatest headline of 2022,
Why?
ooh, I swear to God.
What, did they have like breast milk in a bottle or something?
Yeah,
I
they
mean,
had
yeah,
a,
when you're
a
nursing
breastfeeding
after you have a
room.
child, yeah, like
Oh,
They had a nursing room for the new moms, and apparently some of the guys would just go in the room and stare at them,
what?
and then
the fuck?
and they tell them to go away, but they wouldn't go away. And then they had like a fridge in there where if you already had some breast milk or whatever pumped and a bottle, and you were just keeping it there. Yeah, some dude just went in and stole a bottle of breast milk. It is so messed up. It's so funny, but it's so messed up.
okay. So when I asked for a stealth action game about Akechi, that's going to be one of your objectives.
To steal breast milk?
Yeah. It's like, you know how in Hitman you have optional objectives?
Nice.
they
I
renamed
wanna
it Shadow Milk.
Someone draw a Akechi stealing breast milk from Blizzard headquarters. Please.
I'm worried.
I need this in my life.
Alright, well, that is it for questions. Do you guys have anything else you would like to talk about before we go?
How have you been, Yarly?
I've
been a
been
while.
okay.
Just okay, not good, not great. Like, you want to talk about it a little bit?
Yeah,
I missed you, bro.
I missed you
Therapy
too.
hours in the
The
Megidolaon
therapy
podcast.
session. This not a podcast, no. It's just a therapy session. You know, I'm here
Yeah.
for you, bro.
How's Korea, man?
It's pretty good.
Cool.
Oh, actually, there is one question. There is one more question I wanted to answer, but it's pretty sure it's just directed at me. Now that you're home, what's your take on Korean versus Western console gaming? Asked by William Hutchins. And, I mean, like, there's not, like, I can't really think of, like, a huge difference between Western and Korean console gaming, but, like, the markets were a lot different. There was, you know, like, games there are cheaper is one thing. They got a lot. There are these electronics shops. You can get a lot of cool stuff. That's where I got the SMT5 posters. But
Nice.
yeah, I did actually when the Vanguard beta came out, I played that on PS4, but I got really bad lag. And I know I was playing against Korean players because they all had Korean names. And I also played against a couple Japanese players.
We were also in Korea, so that was kind of like a dead giveaway. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah. Yeah, but I mean, I'm on an American PS4, but it puts you in local lobbies. But I was still getting a shit ton of lag. But so yeah, those are my thoughts.
you got any questions for us, Gnarly? Like, come on now, you're the host.
I don't have any questions.
You don't like us, is what I understand.
Yes.
No, man, he loves us.
Oh. Only thing else I gotta say is try. Maybe I shouldn't say it because I can't. Triangle Strategy's real good.
I agree.
There's a lot of talk about Salt.
Salt Iron War.
Real good. It's a real pretty game.
I only played the E3 demo and I was already super into it. I need to play the prologue and then also buy the game.
People have asked me if I'm planning to get it, but it's like, I mean, maybe I haven't. I mean, I haven't played Octopath Traveler though.
It's a strategy game, so if you're familiar with
it's a game that, or I know Octopath Traveler is a game that Donkey doesn't like.
Yeah,
It's pretty generic, right? Like genuinely.
Triangle Strategy. Like I like Octopath Traveler, but it's got some very blatant issues for me. It's like a 7.
Is Donkey gonna do a video on Octopath Traveler? I mean, not Octopath Traveler. Triangle Strategy.
Yes.
Probably just to piss people off.
Yeah.
But in my opinion, as someone who's like, Octopath's good, but I'd be lying if I said I wasn't disappointed. This is the game I wanted Octopath to be. It fixes basically all the problems I had with Octopath. It's not obviously it's not perfect, but a lot of my criticisms I feel like are just more nitpicks, and more so like, oh, the game isn't like this, and it's like, that's not fair for me to be like, why isn't the game like this? I want it to be like how I want it. But no, it's good. I like it.
Yeah. But yeah, anything else you guys want to say before we go?
I'm glad we're all back together. Gabby,
Sans the one. Sans the girl.
Yeah.
The girl.
Yep.
Honestly, y'all know how I roll. Like, all due respect, like, I'm not missing no women. No, I'm playing. I miss you, Gabby. Wish you were here.
Same here.
Mwah. But like in a friendly way. I don't really like you like that. But mwah, there you go.
I just remembered. This is gonna sound kind of embarrassing. I just remembered my favorite game I played last year.
What is it?
I didn't say it. It was Fire Emblem Genealogy of the Holy War. The game was so fun.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
I've heard that's a good one.
It was amazing. I hope that gets a remake soon.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you guys for listening, and we will see you next month. Hopefully, Gab will be here.
Hopefully.
Take bets on whether or not she'll still be playing Elden Ring by then.
She's still playing Elden Ring right now. Oh no, she's not.
You know what? I'll check.
No, she's not.
Shockingly, no.
It's next month. I think she'll probably be done. I want to say probably.
Probably.
I don't know about
that. Thank you guys for asking all these questions. People who are listening, ask better ones next time because these ones are kind of ass. Thank you.
All right. See ya.
Goodbye. No. Give us a proper like. All right, guys. That is the end.
All right, guys.
No. I'll do it. Listen. No. I'm you. Well, guys, that is about gonna wrap up the latest episode of the Megidolaon podcast. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Yarly. Thank you to Simply Dad, Maka, and Robbie for being here. Say goodbye, guys.
Goodbye. I'm Simply Dad. Goodbye. SMT5 sucks balls, and so does Persona 3.
So true, man. So true. It's like a minute. All right. Thanks for watching, guys. Goodbye.